You are missing the best season of The Ultimate Fighter. I have no explanation for why the ratings are down, but I can tell you it's a really good season. I mean, the fights off the chart, all veterans. Every single one of them is a veteran. Okay, it's called redemption. So everybody's coming back. The coaching's great. The storylines and the drama unfolding is really fun. And I want to make this point to you. So Dillashaw's team is way up. I believe they've had 5 fights. He's won of all. If I'm wrong, they've had 6 fights, and he's won them all. He's getting a ton of credit, and he's a great coach. I went through The Ultimate Fighter 2 different times as a coach, and my teams won both times, and I got all this credit. People were patting me on the back and saying, great job, and I always accepted it. I accepted the credit. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. But the truth was, the same as the truth is now, I just had the best team. I just simply had the best team. I had Uriah Hall and Kelvin Gastelum on the same team. I had Bamba and Warley Alves on the same team. So the coach gets credit, but what I'm seeing is it's going the other way for Cody. It's like, wait a minute, I will tip my hat that TJ Dillashaw is doing a great job. But the truth of the matter is, so is Cody. Cody's also doing a great job. He didn't have the right athletes. And you've got some intangibles there, right, where all these guys are really good. So then you got a question of, well, who's a little bit better? And there's nobody bad. There's no bad fighter on there. I mean, that's really what this is about. But one guy's going to be better, right? You have the sport, you look at the scorecards, and boom, somebody gets their hand raised when time runs out. So I'm just looking at Cody, and I saw some of the articles that had come out that said he's doing the worst job ever. They were comparing him to Rampage, and apparently Rampage had a bad season. It was so long ago, I don't remember that. I thought the Rampage season with Rashad was a lot of fun. But apparently his guys weren't winning or wasn't into coaching or something like that. I'm going, well, that's not what's happening with Cody. I mean, he's got Buckles out there with him. He's got Danny out there with him. He's got Uriah out there with him. I mean, he's got a really good staff of coaches. But if he picked the wrong athletes for those specific matchups, the results are going to be the results. And I can just remember being on the other side of him, getting patted on the back. But I knew the truth. The truth was, hey, listen, I'm fortunate to be part of this. This is their show that I get to be part of. For one, I'm going to do the absolute best I can. But in fairness, it's not a lot. The whole show, start to finish, is 34 days. Now, I realize as you guys watch the episodes, it can last several months. But the actual filming is only 34 days. That's from hi, hello to goodbye, we're done. So the point is, it wouldn't really matter how good of a coach you were, how good of a job you were doing. You can't really influence, structure, or help somebody in that short of a period of time. You do your best with the training, with the preparation, with dealing with injuries, with making weight, with people's attitudes and keeping them positive. But that's all you can do. That is really all you can do. And I see this on all levels. I read an article last night. I believe Mookie Alexander wrote it, but I'm not positive on that. But the point was that the premise of it was that maybe Cody wasn't doing a great job. It's like, no, hold on. I think he's probably doing just as good of a job as TJ, regardless of the results. And I always see this happen with coaches. On all levels, all the way up to the NFL. Guy wins a couple of Super Bowls. Oh my goodness, he's such a good coach. Phil Jackson wins some NBA titles. Oh my goodness, he's such a good coach. And there's got to be some truth there when a guy can go back and repeat with his management skills and his structuring. But the truth is, you're not, the pros are not teaching anybody how to play basketball or how to play football. They're just paying guys to do it. The guys that taught those athletes to play are so long forgotten. You know, an athlete out there on the court in a major event, whether it's a UFC or it's an Olympic Games, it's a Bellator, take it over to hockey, football, baseball, basketball, anything that you want to talk about. Those athletes are using things that they learned 20 years ago. But the coach that taught Michael Jordan how to play never gets talked about. I don't even know who he is. I don't know who Michael Jordan's coach was that taught him the fundamentals when he was 10 years old. I don't know. But that's the guy that should be getting the credit. Not the coach that was given a close to unlimited budget and got to put the team together. It doesn't work that way. I'm a college wrestling guy. I love the college wrestling scene, and we'll see that there too, where the coaches that are winning the championships are getting the credit. But it's well, hold on a second. You've got the best team. You have the best athletes. You get to work with them a maximum of 5 years, but these guys have been at it 12 and 13 years before you ever see them. You liked what you saw. That's why you gave them money in form of a scholarship. So it's those coaches, it's the youth coaches, it's the one that teach the sport that are really important. It's easy to train a guy. It's easy to coach a guy. It's hard to teach a guy. And this isn't wrong, what I'm saying. I'm just bringing it to everybody's attention. I feel that it needs to be said. The wrong coaches are credited. And I see it go positively. In my case, it was positive, but I didn't deserve it. And now I saw it go against Cody, but he doesn't deserve that either. Everybody he's working with appears to be perfectly happy. But the matchup and the guys on the team, the scores come in when the time runs out, and they're not as good as the opponent. I just thought I would make that point, but boy, it's a really fun scene. And I don't say that about all of you. You guys don't hear me talking about The Ultimate Fighter. I watch it here and there. Some seasons I'll get into, I'll watch them all, but I don't love it. It's fine. It's just fine with me. I don't love it. Boy, this is a great season. If you guys aren't seeing this, you're missing a great season. You know who's been fun the last week? Demetrious Johnson. He came out, he cut a promo on Ronda Rousey, and he was spot on. I mean, he wasn't nice. He wasn't nice about it. He just said it like it was. And he said, and this is a quote, "Everybody loses, grow the F up." End quote. And he's right about that, right? Sometimes in athletes, they got to get their pants put on for them. Hey, listen, everybody loses. If you go into a sport where you're never going to lose, first off, it's not a real sport. It's right out of the gate. You ever meet somebody that's 100-0, 300-0? Well, they're not in a real sport. In real sports, you get beat. And secondly, if you're only going to do something because you've got some vision that you'll never be beat, you're a bully. You're a bully. In competitive sports, particularly combat sports, Demetrious is right. Everybody gets beat. And his time will come too, and he's well aware of it. It's happened to him before. It'll happen to him again, and he's well aware of it, and he's right. It was refreshing. Demetrious came out and he made another point. Different interview. Or if it was the same interview, they cut it up because it was released at a different time. But he said, this is the only, and you can't argue with this. This is a fact. He's actually factually correct on this. He said, this is the only sport where the best athlete is not paid the most money. He's right. That is true. The best football player will have the best contract. The best basketball player will have the best contract. He's right. He's missing one thing in his premise. Okay? I know this is a sport. I understand that. But from a business standpoint, it's not. From a business standpoint, and this is a business, it's a show. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget, this is a show. This is the entertainment business that revolves around a sport. But don't lose sight of that. So while Demetrious is right that the best athlete in other sports are compensated, it reflects their paycheck, he's not right if he had his premise correct, which is that entertainment, okay,